Hey everyone, deja vu time. Got another soundbar and subwoofer here. Exact same model as last time. Now this one is from a viewer that contacted me. Normally I don't do anything for viewers, not because I hate you guys, but because I don't want to break your stuff even more. But the viewer was okay with that. And let's see if he regrets it, and hopefully he won't regret it. So same model as last time, and we're gonna do the same diagnostic first to begin with. We'll plug just the soundbar in. Now he did say that this part was working, but we're just gonna make sure. Let's turn on the power, and it does power on, which is good. So I've paired it to my phone, and let's see what happens when we hit play. So looks like that part's okay. Gonna plug in the subwoofer now, and I'll move this off to one side. Let's plug this in. And yeah, there's no light there. So chances are this is the same problem. So same deal as last time. Let's get these screws out from around the edge and open this up. All the screws are off. Gonna unplug this wire here. It's going to the speaker. And just like last time, I've got the good old toilet roll right there. And I'm going to make sure I keep my hands well away from any of these capacitors there. And this right there, that's the chip that we're going to be dealing with. So let me grab a photo of the markings on this chip. Okay, that was pretty tough to get a picture of this thing, but it is the same chip as last time, which is good. So let me get the laptop set up here. So same deal as before. We're going to use this flash programmer here. And again, we're not going to use this to rest this on, because this is more than likely conductive. And now I should be able to put this into the USB port and it should get detected. And here we go, right there. So I'll plug this in off screen, and the red wire here is going to go to pin 1, which is marked by a little triangle on the board. Right there. Alright, that's plugged in. I'm going to start the flash programmer now. And like before, we're going to make sure CH341A selected. So me, being the super genius that I am, forgot to press record. And you're probably wondering, wasn't it recording already? Did you stop the recording for some reason? Well, no. This phone will only record 4K in segments of about 6 minutes. And I didn't notice that the 6 minutes were up. In any case, it plays out exactly the same as the other video. It's just me selecting the chipset, then pressing one button to back up the existing ROM, and another button to, then another button to write the new ROM to it. In any case, apologies, and hopefully this cat makes up for it. And one of the reasons I decided to do this for the viewer, besides that it's the decent thing to do, I was really curious if it was going to be the exact same problem as last time, and so far it does appear to be just that. We've got a little house guest over here. So I'll go ahead and plug the speaker back in. Not going to screw it in entirely just yet. So the soundbar is still turned on, actually hasn't been powered off. So I'm going to plug this in. Last time I did this, I was kind of fooling around with the pairing button because it was taking a while. This time I'm going to plug it in and let it sit. So here we go. And there is a light this time. It's been just over a minute, and I am really tempted to press that button, I'll give it another minute or two. So it's just over 2 minutes, and it did that by itself. So let's see if this works. Sorry, turn off the Bluetooth on my phone. Okay, we're connected again. Gonna plug this out now. And that's just the soundbar playing. Let's plug this back in. And I believe we're good. Let me get the screws back in. Okay, screws are back in. Let's just make sure this thing is still working. So hopefully that's one happy viewer. And again, I do want to stress, normally I would not do something like this. And again, not because I hate you guys, but because I don't want to accidentally trip on something and smash your stuff into a million pieces. This one I was personally curious about, and also judging from the comments from the last video, seems that quite a lot of these have the same issue. So a little bit disappointed in LG in that regard. But hey, that's corporations for you. In any case, I'll contact the viewer. You guys can drop congratulations to him in the comments if you want. So that's the second subwoofer I've had with this exact same issue. And while it was a relatively straightforward fix, provided you've got one of these in your junk drawer, this really shouldn't be happening in the first place. So let's dive into some baseless speculation, because why not? We know that the app connects to the soundbar via Bluetooth, which then connects to the subwoofer via Bluetooth. Now, Bluetooth itself, it's not inherently bad, but if you ever told me that I had to use Bluetooth to update my motherboard BIOS, I'd imagine that my stress levels would probably hit an all-time high. For something simple like listening through headphones, sure, Bluetooth's fine, but for a firmware update, it doesn't really inspire confidence. And of course, there's always the Occam's razor explanation. Maybe LG just used some less than stellar chips. Always plausible. Still, I am more inclined to pin this on a flaky Bluetooth connection causing all this trouble. Either way, if you own one of these systems, my advice is simple. Avoid updating it unless you're dealing with a truly bizarre problem. Honestly, you don't even need the LG app or whatever it is they recommend. Just connect the soundbar directly to your phone or TV and enjoy yourself. Anyways, thanks for watching. Take care.